Chill's Lounge Cafe.
Chill's Lounge Cafe.
Entertainment and lifestyle podcast.
Chill's Lounge Cafe.
You're welcome to my podcast, and this is Chill's Lounge Cafe with yours truly, T-Bone the Great. Chill's Lounge Cafe, an entertainment and lifestyle podcast. You're welcome, and thanks for listening and watching. What's up? How are you doing? Hope you're having a great time. My name is T-Bone the Great, like I mentioned. This is my very first podcast, by the way, and you're welcome to be part of the beginning of success. So I'm launching out. This is my own radio, to the world. So the show basically is going to be talking about entertainment generally. I'm going to be focused on entertainment, around Nigeria and the rest of the world, and lifestyle in general. Like I always say, entertainment is the soul of social lifestyle. Without entertainment, there will be no social lifestyle. So these two, they go hand in hand, you get me? So it is what the show is going to be about. Lifestyle, we talk about trending news and entertainment, everything, musical videos and all that stuff. Yeah. So because it is my very first podcast, I was thinking, what topic should I start with? How am I going to start? How am I going to, catch your attention? Just like you're listening to me right now. So I was thinking, as an OAP and as an audio production guy, I'm an audio production guy. So I put sounds together. I'm a sound engineer. So I'm usually in the studio all day. So I work with various artists. I work with a lot of, great creative, talented people in the studio. So we usually talk. After we must have worked or before we start working, we usually talk about how to progress, how to, to move forward, how to become big like Whiskey, Davido, and Burna Boy. That's what we usually talk about. And the stories are usually around making it in Lagos and how uncomfortable it can be sometimes, and coming into Lagos afresh to start. Sometimes it is very challenging for people who have never lived in Lagos before. Fortunately for me, I was born and brought up in Lagos, but it still did not make me feel special like a Superman or whatnot. I still have to, do the rest of, the hustle and the grind like everyone else is doing. So I decided, okay, I'm going to talk about moving to Lagos to make it as an artist. Yeah, you're interested, right? You like the topic already. So coming to Lagos to make it as an artist. I mean, and it's not just limited to artists or musicians alone. Movie stars as well, movie actors, comedians, all of these guys in the world of entertainment. All of these guys, they want to come to Lagos to make it because Lagos is an entertainment hub. Apart from it being a center of excellence in the whole country, it is an entertainment hub. Everything is in Lagos. So if you're talking about entertainment, you have to come to Lagos to make it. If not, I don't know where your dream, what you're saying in your dreams, or what you're dreaming about. You get me? So that's it. And talking about why must everybody come to Lagos? It is very obvious. All of our celebrities, all of the pioneers, the executives, all of them, most of them rather, they live in Lagos. So if you want to start your career, where would be the best place for you to go to if not Lagos? I'm not saying that in Port Harcourt there is no industry, or in the east, somewhere where Fino came from, or in the north, talking about Abuja, Style Plus, they came from there. You get me? So, but Lagos is the center. Lagos is the major place where everybody, gets started from. And talking about artists or musicians who have made it, who have moved to Lagos to make it. I mean, talking about going way back. Like, we've got legendary musicians who came all the way from various states to make it in Lagos. Talking about the legendary musician King Sunny Ade had to come from, Ondo, left grammar school in Ondo, came to Lagos to join the high life based Lagos band, the Federal Rhythm Dandies. That was how he started. And talking about another legendary musician, Chief Ebenezer Obey, came from Abeokuta, came to Lagos, to form the International Brothers, and he started his career off like that. Talking about legendary musicians, we're talking about Fela and Anikulapo Kuti, all the way from Abeokuta. Went to London, then came back to Lagos, formed the Kulalu Beatles. Yeah, so legendary musicians, all of these guys who didn't have the opportunity to be born and raised in Lagos, took the initiative, knew about what they wanted, came to Lagos and made it. You have to be that passionate. Do you get me? But the challenge is, why must they be Lagos? That is it. Why should everybody come to Lagos? Why can't I make it in Abuja? Why can't I make it in Port Harcourt? Why can't I make it in Enugu? Why can't I make it in Benin? Why can't I make it in Ibadan? It can be blamed on the way Nigeria is structured. Nigeria as a democratic state is supposed to be like, states are supposed to be very independent by themselves. States are supposed to be viable to be able to create, to make things happen for themselves. But the way things are right now, it's like everything is, controlled by the federal government. And I'm not blaming the federal government. I'm just saying this is how things have been for a very long time. And talking about Lagos, if you remember, Lagos used to be the state capital, the capital of Nigeria for a very long time, until the early 90s, before it was moved to Abuja, if you remember. So Lagos is a center of excellence. And if you want to make it as an artist, you have to come, unfortunately. And talking about artists who, new generation artists who made it in Lagos as well. Talking about MI, who came all the way from Jos, came to Lagos, smashed it, made it big, boom. Talking about Two-Face came, Timaya from Port Harcourt came, blew our mind. P-Square, yeah. You remember P-Square came all the way from Jos as well. And they made it big. So great musicians have all moved. Great musicians, they've moved from various parts of Nigeria to come to Lagos to make it. And talking about even Tiwa Savage, used to be in America, but she had to come to Lagos to make it. Shay, she had to come to Lagos to make it. So all of these people, all of these guys had to come to Lagos to make it. And like I said before, it's not just for musicians alone. Comedians, actors. Lagos is that huge. As small as the city is, with over 20 million people, yeah, Lagos has that capacity, to carry on, to carry everybody along. Yeah, it's a beautiful city, though it can be very, very, chaotic and dramatic sometimes, but a whole lot is going on in the city. And if you really want to enjoy the entertainment industry, you have to come. So, for artists who are still thinking about, I don't think you should think about, you get me? If you're still thinking about coming to Lagos to start, if you know you're really passionate about music and entertainment in general, and music or acting or being a comedian is what you want, don't think about it. Just come. Or have some plans, some things, that will make you feel smooth before you can, say you want to get rested in Lagos. So here are my ideas and opinions on how to, survive and how to go about coming to Lagos to start afresh. Okay. So with my own opinion and my own idea, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be really, really plain with you and be very sincere. I was born and brought up in Lagos, and even being in Lagos, growing up in Lagos, I grew up on the mainland, on the way side of the mainland, not the glorious part of the mainland. I grew up, if you're talking about Okoko Michael side, Lasu or Jaw, these are the areas, where I grew up. And if you're familiar with these places that I've just mentioned, you should know that they are not your typical urban areas. They are your supposed, ghettos. So even living in those areas, it comes with its own challenges. So going to the mainland like Oshodi, Keja can be very difficult sometimes, traffic and all that. So if you're coming from Port Harcourt, if you're coming from Abuja, if you're coming from the east in general, anywhere from the north, what I'm going to say to you as an artist, a comedian, an actor, or anything in line of entertainment, one I'm going to ask you is that, are you mentally ready? Or I will tell you that you should be mentally ready for your journey, for your new venture, for your new discovery. You have to be mentally ready, because Lagos is it's a little bit harsh, but not that. It can be very, very pressurizing sometimes, because the environment is very big. Though it's a small city, but it's big. So you have to be mentally ready. Are you sure music or entertainment in general is what you really want to do? So you have to be mentally ready for it. You have to be passionate. You have to be, ambitious enough to say, okay, yes, music is what I really want to do. And you should be ready to, put in your blood, sweat, and tears, because there are going to be times when it's going to be very, very difficult and hard. Let me not lie to you, because in Lagos, accommodation is one of the biggest problems. So I would say to you, if you're coming to Lagos to start as an artist and entertainer in general, one, you need to have ties. And what do I mean by ties? You have to have somebody that you can link up with. That is, if you don't have, the right amount of money for you to get an accommodation with. So you have to have a tie, someone that you can probably squat with. And I bet you some of your supposed famous entertainers who are coming up or who are in Lagos are still squatting. They're living with somebody. You understand? So you have to have ties to somebody you want to come meet. Then two, and this is a personal advice that I'm going to always be giving to anybody that wants to come to Lagos to get into the entertainment business. I would say to you, if music is your passion, if acting is your passion, if being a comedian, doing all sort of stuff is your passion, what I would say to you is that, apart from the fact that you are very talented with this, which you should be, but like they say, talent is not enough. You get me, right? They say talent is not enough. So you have to be extraordinarily creative, because the people you're going to come meet in Lagos are not playing, and they're not joking as well. So if they sense that you're coming and you're very creative and talented, they may perceive you as someone who is going to come spoil their show, their market. So you have to be ready for some fights or some those you get me? So you have to be mentally ready for that. Then, like I said, passion is the fuel to breakthroughs, to success. Do you get me? So having all of these elements inside of you will make you be really, really prepared. And here is an advice, if I can share my advice, if I can advise you, is that apart from the fact that you're into music, acting, or in the whole entertainment, do something apart from music or that surrounds music or acting. So if let's say you're an actor, like I'm an OAP, I'm also a production guy, an audio production guy. So if you're a musician, make sure you know how to play a particular instrument and play very well, so that when you get to Lagos, you can get gigs. People can hire you to play in the studio. Some studios are looking for good keyboardist, good pianist, pianist, guitarist, bassist. Make sure you know how to play one of these instruments, or you can, learn production, know how to make beats, know how to put, voices together, know how to put sounds together. These other part of you is gonna make people respect you and want to associate with you and want to say, okay, we can actually give this guy a chance, especially when you're very creative and talented. So if you don't like production, you can go into video directing, video editing, all of these stuffs. Anything around the world of entertainment that you are into yourself. So if you're an actor, go into script writing, go into, story analyzing and expatiating and all of that. If you're a comedian, do things. I don't know much about comedy, but I just love the humor and how it makes me feel relaxed. You get me? So look for something around what you know how to do, so that people can see you more for more than what you say you are. Do you understand? So these are my tips and these are my advice. And I know that you're coming to Lagos is going to be very, very, very nice. Then again, if you're coming, you may not necessarily come at once. You can just come, like they say, you test the waters, right? You come, survey the environment, look at the whole place, because Lagos is where the whole thing is happening for real. I'm not going to lie to you. Lagos is the main place. If you want to blow up, if you want to be serious, you want to get serious, and you want to be successful with what you're doing, you have to come to Lagos. But you can come, test the waters, see how the environment is, and see how the industry is. Then you can go back, then come back and be prepared. So these are my tips, and I hope that you find your journey, well. Like they always say, what's the saying again, that may your road be rough. I'm not swearing for you, I'm just that's what they usually say. What I'm trying to say is that be extra creative, so that you can go to Lagos and compete with the people who are already living in there. Do you understand? So it's still Chills Lounge Cafe. So if you have any contribution or any idea that you feel like you can add to make the show be better, so feedbacks are allowed. We welcome feedbacks in here. So you can follow me on Instagram at T-Bone the Great, TBONTHEGREAT, the Great, on Twitter as well. And if you feel like you want to, be very formal, you can shoot me a mail, tbonethegreat@gmail.com. That is it. Thank you very much for listening.
Chills Lounge Cafe.